Hello, everybody. David Burdett here, lead editor with Gamingtrend.com, and I'm joined with Mathias, the game director, and Navid, the narrative director for Star Wars Outlaws. How are we doing today?
Great.
Very good.
Excited.
Yeah.
It's out in the world.
Yeah.
It's like
It's
it's
real.
been played. I got to play it already. For lack of a better term, it's awesome.
Did you get through everything?
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Too quickly as well. Like, I
Okay.
really wish I could have spent more time with it. But I do have a couple of questions I wanted to ask just about the game, just different things about it. One of the things we saw a lot of in the trailers, we saw a lot of stealth. I was not expecting, I expected a little bit, but there was a lot more of it than I expected in the gameplay, along with like planning outside of the enemy camp of this is how we're going to go about like attacking this enemy camp. Just how many and what kinds of options are you going to have for players with completing these missions? Because obviously there's stealth, there's like run and gun, but like, is there anything else we can expect just with having fun in the game in the open world?
There's a lot to expect, and I think obviously we can't put everything into a limited demo. I think what we tried to show in these, what you play was 3 parts of 3 different quests that would be in the main story campaign, and it shows you. I think it's a good indication of the type of range of location and also situation and gameplay that you can expect, ranging from stealth to full-on dogfights with your ship. But I think really core to the game experience is to have choice in approach. And Kay and her little buddy Nix at the start of the game, they're scoundrels. Maybe not Nix, but Kay for sure. But they've been surviving as thieves. So what we're dealing with is a really daring, passionate, resourceful person who has to have developed a skill set to also be sneaky and collaborating with Nix, distract, attack, lockpick, slice, etc. to get through life and situations. And in gameplay, we're reflecting that as a range from stealth to full-on gunplay. On top of that, of course, you have your own speeder to get around the planets, go to your ship. You have your own ship to explore space and literally at your fingertips hyper jump to the different planet regions. So really try to bring fun and variety into just the travel and relocation in the game as well.
Awesome. That's great. Now this might be more for Navid, but we've heard quite a few stories during the Skywalker saga. Like there's just a lot of them.
Just a few.
Yeah. How did you arrive at this section of Star Wars between 5 and 6, as opposed to choosing a different timeline or going after the trilogy or anything? Like, what was specific about this?
That's a great question. So it really goes back to right at the beginning when we started out on this this journey, and we knew as a team that we wanted to explore the scoundrel fantasy. And when we met with Lucasfilm Games, they told us, hey, there's a sweet era between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi when the Empire is distracted a bit by the rebellion, but they're in full force, and the underworld is really thriving. And so that's where sort of the genesis of it came. But what we found really exciting is, there, like you said, we've sort of seen that Jedi story in this time period. We've seen what the rebellion, has been up against, but we haven't seen that sort of perspective on the ground from someone like Kay Vess, who is from essentially a small town thief on Canto Bight in the workers' district, just struggling to get by. And those are events that are out of her control, but what is within her control is her journey into the underworld, right? And that really is what was truly exciting. The fact that you are not only you have this bounty on your back and you're being sent across the underworld to pull off a heist that'll guarantee your freedom, but also that you're seeing a very different side of the galaxy. Even in terms of the Empire, there's some corrupt Empire as well out there, right? And so Kay is gonna run across that. So it really was about finding a unique perspective within that period.
Okay. Was Lucasfilm very strict with what you could and couldn't do, or were they Like,
Not at all. Honestly, I mean, I think I want to give our team credit. They did their research, right? So we were very we went through everything. We have lore masters on the team, and we wanted to kind of honor that period, but at the same time, you sort of have to put it on the shelf a little bit and say, okay, what are we bringing that's new to this as well? And so when we went to Lucasfilm and in our, we had regular conversations with them, they were also looking for the same thing. And I think that's really was the key to such a successful relationship.
awesome. This one again, probably more from Matthias.
Right.
Is there any jumping back and forth? Is there any procedural generation that was used in the game for any of like the missions or the locations?
Oh, great question. In terms of tech, I'm not the best person to answer content wise, but it's really, I think, really important to us that we're recreating in some cases known places like Tatooine. We're bringing for the first time a face to a place like Akiva that we only read before about, and brand new creations like Tushara, and to truly make them come alive and feel authentic, lived in real places that you can explore and really feel like you're not just visiting, you're not on a guided tour, you're there on your own terms. And that comes with a almost obsessive attention to detail. So we've really put a lot of time and effort into handcrafting beautiful, curiosity-piquing details into all of these locations and the world, including space, for you to sink your teeth in.
Awesome. About how long is the game? Like, how long is the main content? How long is the side stuff going to add?
Wish I could give you a number, but it's expect a full-sized single-player action adventure through not just this fantastic story that the team has created, but also all the open world and freedom that you have to extend that playtime by just diving into all the things along the engine, the locomotive that is the campaign. So you would at least double your playthrough time if you want to see and do everything.
Okay, awesome. One you may not be able to answer, given the era it's in, is our girl Dr. Afra in the game?
I mean, August is pretty soon, right?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even need to say anything.
Yeah.
He's got my answers in there.
Okay, so
August
wait
30th.
2 months, we'll know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then one final question for you: are there any fun stories that you have from your time developing that you'd love to share? Because there's just like working any job, you have the fun, things that happen. Something completely melts down, and everybody can laugh about it now. Like, what happened? What's happened behind the scenes?
Oh, there are many. I think I'll start with I'll probably give you two, if that's okay.
Yes,
Pretty personal one. Like growing up, I was born in '83. Like big part of my childhood was Star Wars, not least this era, and going with back pocket full of ideas and this vision we had for the game we wanted to create to the Lucasfilm offices for the first time in San Francisco, walking past the little Yoda statue, the fountain, into the lobby, and then actually into the inner sanctum of this place, just full of childhood wonder, and them going and essentially handing us the idea to be in this era because it's such a perfect fit was it's a fantastic memory. Otherwise, why should I mention it? I think the first time Nix stopped being like an oval gray pill with a tail on it, that could perform all of these actions and mechanics that K and Nix ultimately you as a player can perform. He became Nix, the little Mercal that he is. When we got the characterization on top of it, it was just, I think, a smile from ear to ear from so many in the team seeing him come alive. That's awesome.
Yeah, sure. I think again, there's a few, but I'll try and keep it brief. One of my favorite memories was coming onto the mocap set when we shot some of the Java scenes you've seen in the trailer between Java and K. And that we shot those pretty early, and that was, you walk on set and you're in your own head, right? Your pencils in it down, you're in your thoughts, and then stepping out onto the mocap stage and seeing sort of these platforms that they've constructed for Java's area, and then you've got salacious chrome like cutout, and we got our Java sort of stand-in sitting up there, and then it just hits me. That's one thing that hits me. And then I look to my left, and we have Umberly Gonzalez, who does a fantastic job as Kay, sitting there relaxed in their scoundrel pose. And the puppeteer, who we have a puppeteer on set who plays Nyx, has Nyx, and she's just sitting there like petting Nyx, and she's not looking at the puppeteer, right? The puppeteer is playing along, like smiling, chirping, and I'm just like, how the heck did I end up here? Can someone tell 6-year-old me that this is happening so I can be prepared? So I think that's my favorite one. That's when it became real.
Awesome. Well, thank you all so much for your time.
Thank
It's
you.
been a pleasure to get to meet you. And stay tuned, everybody. Our preview is on gamingtrend.com. Go check it out.